Okay, good afternoon to the Wellcoin Talk community. Today we have an AMA with Kount. Kount's got a cool one-player P2E game that we can talk about shortly, and it's going to have a big bang battle royale game in the future. It's got staking pools that have been audited by Certix, so that's great. There's only a few of them around at the moment. Yield farming we've got NFT series for the KKT. So yeah, we can go into all that shortly. But if we can start with the core team's background and experience with crypto, that'd be great, guys.
Sure. So thanks for having us again, Glenn. So my name's Jack. Typically, I've come from a medical background, so I'm a cardiac physiologist by trade during the day and crypto pest during the night. I guess I started off as a investor since 2018, and really sort of came onto the scene, I guess, early last year in terms of the Binance Smart Chain and ERC20 tokens trading. Decided amongst the second half of last year that I wanted to start my own project alongside my partner Lockie. And so October 2021, our first project, Matrix Protocol, was born. It's still going strong today, sitting above its original launch price still, and we've managed to put away a few special corporate partnerships since, which we can go into later. We've been a part of your community twice here at Whalecoin Talk. This will be the third time, first as Kount token. So we made a series of promises in October, and we're happy to report that we can tick those off, and we'll get into that a little bit later. Kount game being one of those. So I guess that's me. I'll throw over to Lockie for a bit of an intro.
Yeah, thanks, Jack. So yeah, good to be here again, Glenn, and hey guys from the Wildcoin Talk community. So I've been in crypto for about close to 3 years now. BSC for probably a year and a bit. Background professionally, so I come from a marketing background. So I've worked at two probably the most recognised global brands within FMCG. So I'm a massive, massive lover of the '90s kind of retro arcade game era, as you know, Jack is as well. That's what we grew up playing, and when Jack and I spoke, sort of early last year, we spoke about launching a project, and we were talking about gaming and play to earn gaming. I jumped on it straight away. Obviously, I've got a background in marketing, and in particular sponsorships and partnerships, which Jack alluded to. We'll touch on that a bit later. So, yeah, that was a really exciting proposition for me. And Jack and I formed Matrix Protocol to begin with, which is now a registered Australian business. And then as we launch our Kount game, we've got Kount token, and here we are.
Yeah, if we can go into maybe the KKT NFT series you're planning, and there's going to be staking for the NFTs in the future. And I'm wondering if you'll be able to use them in the Kount game as that goes along.
Sure. Yeah, so I guess one of our upcoming deliverables there, Glenn, will be a collection involving two sub-collections. These are based on the main characters of our Kount game. The 3D modeling and all of that is currently being worked on. It'll feature the hero character and the lead enemy of our Kount game. So it'll be the wolf and the rat. I guess from there, we've actually established a partnership with a local Australian digital artist, Chroma World, who will then be, I guess, turning them into specific sort of variations and actual artwork. This will be a lot different to the auto-generated ones that you're seeing around the place currently. And as you've mentioned there, Glenn, we will be introducing NFT staking, so that holders are earning rewards just by holding. This will be done by our staking partners at Brew Labs, who are another Aussie business who currently have set up our staking pools and farming pools for MTX. So we will be replicating those same pools for Kount token at launch. However, the staking for the NFTs, I've been assured that they're about a month away, possibly even sooner, from introducing staking pools themselves and setting something up for us in that respect. So we have a bit to look forward to with regard to the NFTs. With regard to integration, so for our first game, I don't believe for our very first game that's about to release, NFTs will feature in that specific game. However, game 2 and so on, so Big Bang Battle Royale, moving forward, that'll feature Web3 integration will feature as well as NFT integration, definitely. So yeah.
Awesome, yeah. So if we can go into the Kount game, it's a one-player P2E game. How it works for players, and do you need sort of
Sure.
NFTs or tokens to play the game, or is it free to play?
Absolutely. No, so see, it is free to play. So, Glenn, I guess the main focus of us back in October 2021 with this game was to partner with a significant game development studio like Art of Play Games, like we've done. So they're a Melbourne-based game studio, and they have worked on. They're an award-winning game studio that's worked on titles under license such as Star Wars, Nickelodeon. What else am I missing here? Like Spider-Man,
Transformers,
Ninja Turtles. So what I'm saying is we really focused on quality of game and gameplay and replayability first of all. So that's why it's a beat 'em up Sega Mega Drive style retro pixel game. Pixel games cost a lot more money than 3D games because a lot more detail goes into every single frame, and every single detail is basically hand or computer drawn. So we really focused on the gameplay aspect of the game before Web3 integration. So having said that, in upcoming versions of that same game, which shouldn't be too far away, we're going to be introducing Web3 integration. We're going to be looking at Epic Games, the Epic Games platform that games such as Fortnite is on, not just for exposure, but so that it can sort of have its place, on the internet, and not just be a browser-based game, but have a sort of a home or a niche for it to grow exposure-wise, and I guess just run smoothly. Epic Games do allow crypto games at the moment, however, Steam don't. So that's why we are pushing for Epic Games. So that's just a little bit of the direction there on where that's going to go. In terms of the Kount token, alongside the Web3 integration, we would also like to be able to use the token to purchase unlockables, different starting levels, and different weapons. So that'll be an immediate goal once Web3 integration is introduced as well. But for now, we'll be handling these rewards manually. So gamers, when they reach 250 kills, they'll go onto a leaderboard, which is already programmed into the game, where they'll input their BSC address and a few other details, and we will be awarding a weekly highest scorer prize. We aren't sure whether to do one large sort of weekly prize or smaller daily prizes. We're just ironing that sort of small detail out as we approach launch, but that's the way we're going to be going there.
So you're planning to do maybe like Twitch streaming, live sort of one-on-one sort of players, competitions in the future, like weekly or monthly?
So I guess, Lockie, we do have we've got a Twitch marketing deck that we've put together.
Yeah.
I wonder if you're able to talk to that, maybe.
Yeah, so initially, Glenn, it will just be obviously single player. We are looking at potentially some sort of wagering option as well, where people can actually play each other. as we get sort of further down the line and look at version 2, version 3 of Kount, we will look at how we can actually make it a co-op or a 2v2 kind of style game. So I guess for us, the kind of core focus has been obviously getting the foundation of the game build absolutely bulletproof, and then we can build upon that. And in relation to Twitch, we haven't introduced Naomi, who you'll see on our website. She's not with us on the call today, but her background is digital and social strategy. She does it as a day job, and we've got her working with us directly with Kount and MTX. So she has direct contact with the head of Twitch. So we've been in contact with Twitch. We've got a full kind of go-to-market campaign with some Twitter pre-roll ads. So we've gone down that avenue more so than actually live streaming. We're looking at some better kind of visibility with that, given the keywords and I guess the demographic that we're really focusing on. But in the future, as we kind of build, I guess from version 1, we may look at some Twitch streamers. Yeah.
Not just that, but like initially, the style of marketing we need for such a game like ours is short, sharp, and impactful marketing, because it is a game that you will sort of repeat through the levels as waves of enemies come at you. It's not sort of like an RPG where someone will be running around and exploring, and the stream goes for like 4 hours or something. We really need to focus on the sharp, impactful, sort of advertising. So that's the sort of style of advertising and marketing we'll be going for.
Awesome. And can we go into like how the gameplay works for investors here today, and also,
Sure.
Yeah, just that first, yeah.
Yep. So I guess as alluded to earlier, it's a 16-bit game. Even the sound effects was actually, the music and sound effects was run through a Sega Mega Drive emulator just to get that final touch. You're playing as the wolf, who's the protagonist of the game, and fighting waves of enemies on top of train carriages through a city. As you would assume, as you go along, the waves of enemies get more difficult and more difficult. The AI gets more complex within the game, and then there are mini bosses as you're going along. Selfishly, I asked for a lot of gore, so there's blood splatter left, right, and center in the game. Decapitations, cricket bats. What else do you want? So as you sort of go along, beat more enemies, and you die, you'll have to die, and then you'll unlock new weapons. So that adds to the replayability of the game. You start off with a knife, a cricket bat, and then a pistol, and then it gets more and more convoluted as you're going along. So I guess the idea is, as Lockie alluded to there, down the track we want to introduce some sort of not multiplayer initially, but I guess wagering, just to get sort of that bit of fun, sort of competitive environment amongst our communities. So that'll be a focus as well for us.
Great, yeah, I love retro gaming. It's my sort of age bracket, and Double Dragon and things like that. It had a really cool feel to it when I was watching the videos on Kount. And so you're going to have the beta out as well on launch as well for players to try out.
The full version is ready to go, Glenn. Killcount.com. Anyone can go on and have a go. However, the token and the rewards function of it, we haven't advertised the game fully yet, where we're actually looking at having an official launch, quote unquote, alongside the token. So the game is fully developed as it is. You can have it a go, check it out, killcounttoken.com, and let us know how you go. It's available on PC and mobile at the moment, and it's a web-based game.
That's awesome, yeah. So how many levels are actually built, and are you looking to build more on top of it as you go along through the first and second quarter.
It's yeah, I understand, Lockie. I believe it's unlimited, but however, it does take you 250 kills to be registered on the leaderboard.
Awesome. Yeah, so let's move on to the game that's coming after that, the Big Bang Battle Royale game. What's planned around that in the future?
Yeah, so we're in initial discussions already with our game developers regarding a more complex sort of battle royale style. Lockie, I can throw over to you if you want to add a few more details in there.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me okay?
Very great.
Yep. So the Big Bang, it's basically kind of the next step for us in terms of a company. So we're looking at kind of a end of the world PvP. Basically, think capture the flag, but in this case, it's going to be finding the kill count tokens within the arena. So there'll be 5 coins which actually power up a team portal for your team and evacuate you before the nuclear bomb in the middle of the arena goes off. So it's kind of, I guess, that sort of defense versus attack kind of style game, which is, a little bit different to kind of just your basic sort of assault kind of style game. Basically, you'll have 4 teams to choose from. The design, we've kind of we've kind of gone with, I guess, the sort of a bit of a piss take on the sort of 80s toy and kind of movie characters. So think kind of like that sort of 2D kind of Rick and Morty style sort of characters. But what we'll be doing is actually kind of meshing it into a kind of side-scrolling sort of 3D kind of landscape. So it'll be a online multiplayer. We'll have up to 2 teams, 6 players in a single battle. I guess that is where we'll look for that Web3 integration upon launch. So we'll have the wallet integration, and NFTs will play a heavy part in that. So that's kind of the next step. We've sort of just received exactly kind of the content and the pitch from our partners and game developers Art of Play. So this would be probably an end of year release, if all things go to plan.
Awesome. Yeah, and then you've got the staking pools and some of the very first CertiK audited staking farming pools. Can we go into that for investors?
Sure thing. So our partners currently are Brew Labs. They're an Aussie business, and they handle our staking and farming pools from MTX, Matrix Protocol. We will be replicating those pools upon launch. So for Kill Count token, we will be having the 30, 90, 180-day staking pools where you'll earn Kill Count token. We will also be introducing the farming pool as well. So it'll be basically a replication of what you see at Matrix Protocol, but with Kill Count token. So that should be set up for launch or shortly after launch, depending on timelines for them.
And then can we go into the tokenomics? You've got 0% tax on all buys, 15% tax on sells, and a cool feature, the 3% kill shot LP buyback vault on sells as well.
That's exactly right. So I guess with regard to the token, the Kill Count token is actually 3 smart contracts in one. So the main smart contract is the token supply with the basic contract functions. Secondly, we have a rewards contract. So every person that's holding Kill Count token will be earning reflections in MTX, Matrix Protocol, which introduces them into our main ecosystem and increases our holders as well for Matrix, which is obviously beneficial if you're considering top tier exchanges and all of that. There is also the extra smart contract you just alluded to, which is the treasury. So 3% of every sell, the BNB will enter this vault, which no one can access. That vault builds up, the BNB, and then we schedule buyback events, so kill shot events, where we will be manually going in and doing a large buyback. That then assists the liquidity pool. So it purchases tokens, the BNB goes into the liquidity pool, and the tokens are redistributed through the ecosystem to be used in the staking pools and marketing and that sort of thing. So as you alluded to, there's a 0% buy tax at launch. We'll be hanging on to that for some time just to increase that buying pressure. There will be a 15% sell tax, however. So 2% of that sell tax will be reflections in MTX for holders, as I mentioned before. 4% of the tax will be converted to BNB in marketing. 6% will head to the liquidity pool, and 3% will go to that kill shot treasury, as mentioned earlier. So it's a bit of a complicated sort of setup there. However, it's entirely set up so that it supports our liquidity pool at launch, which we wanted to put a real emphasis on for this token.
Yeah, and how's the ecosystem going to work with the MTX token? What was built on that side, and what will you be using to incorporate that?
Yeah, look, we have had quite a bit of, quite a few questions about the MTX token, how that'll be used within the ecosystem. So we stayed away from introducing the MTX token to just an in-game sort of currency just for kill count, because we do believe we have a greater application for it in terms of holders having more of a governance or more of a say over the project, so voting rights, which we're in the process of establishing at the moment, some sort of a tiered system for that. We do have some a fairly large collaborative partnership with Out of Play Games coming up. It's in its conceptual stage at the moment, but we are pitching the idea to a few larger sort of companies, which Lockie might be able to fill you in on a little bit later. But I guess the MTX token will be part of that as well. So we sort of saw a bit of a greater, more overarching application for MTX. So we thought it would be a little bit more appropriate to have its own token for kill count. Not just that, but we thought it might make a little bit more sense just to have a token called kill count token as an in-game currency. So it would make sense for investors.
Okay, awesome. And you've got Cookie Sale, the preferred audit consultants, a contract checker with KYC. And I think, are you guys fully doxed? It says the fully doxed developers.
Yeah. Look, so Cookie Sale is owned by another Aussie business called Cody Coin, and that's their launch platform, their newly formed launch platform, and we are KYC'd. So we've identified ourselves to them. So this is the first KYC we've done for Kill Count token. However, we have done 2 or 3 KYCs and 2 or 3 doxings with Matrix Protocol, and we're easy to find on LinkedIn. So there's no issues with identity there for investors.
Awesome. Yeah, Cookie Sale's one of our partners, so everyone seems to be coming to Whalecoin Talk and making partnerships with us, and that's cool. You're launching on there, and the fair launch is going to be made as 21st on the Cookie Sale launchpad. What's the software
That's right.
looking to raise there?
That's exactly right. So look, fair launch, as you alluded to, will be the 21st of May at midnight, running for 48 hours. As you can imagine, games are expensive. So we are looking at driving a bit of capital there to try and get a start on our next iteration, our next game. So we've set a bit of a goal here to receive potentially upward of somewhere between 800 to 1,000 BNB. So we've set ourselves a bit of a goal there. Hopefully it's an achievable goal, but we really believe that would sort of kickstart us and get us into the right direction. So that's a goal for us. And
you mentioned the treasury earlier on, so I'm wondering if you're looking in the future to have a DAO and one of these tokens, the MTX or the KKT, as a governance token?
So we are looking at using MTX in a greater application, as I mentioned earlier, and having a sort of its own DAO and being used as a governance token. We haven't really explored that further yet, but we do believe that that's the direction MTX token will be going. So keep your eyes out for that.
Awesome. And so you've got partners, Brew Labs, and maybe you wanted to go into more of the partnerships you're looking to build in the future for Kount and MTX.
I reckon Lockie's the partnerships guru around here.
You've spoken long enough, Jack. I'll take it from here, mate. So, yeah, partnerships is something we're really focused on. I don't know if you recall, but with MTX, we mentioned that at the start, and we've actually we are a registered company, and for the kind of partnerships that we're looking to make, you do need to be. So, happy to say that we're the very first cryptocurrency to partner with or be affiliated with the Australian Football League. So we are an elite partner of the St Kilda Football Club here in Australia. So context for anyone who's online that's not from Australia. So AFL is the fourth largest attended sport globally, and it's $1 billion company, the AFL. So very, very big partnership from our end. Basically, we have a lot of sort of game day signage, LED boundary signage, so that flashes up with the logo. We have access to players, so a sort of key part of our marketing strategy is leveraging our Afl Ambassadors. So we have 2 player ambassadors for the ecosystem. So they're actually yesterday, the content team down at St Kilda Football Club basically held kind of like a mini kind of battle between the 2 players, which they were actually playing Kount. So they were playing the game, sort of having a bit of friendly banter and friendly competition, and they're actually building out for us, which will be hopefully ready sort of right on launch, a bit of a content on a shoot. So that will hopefully be live, like I said, on launch. Basically, they're going to post that to all of their social media platforms. So think Twitter, think Instagram, Facebook. That's over 300,000 reach. They've got over 300,000 followers just on their socials. So we're really excited by that. I think kind of partnerships, and in particular, we're looking at a lot more sort of blockchain orientated partnerships. We've got a couple that we're sort of working through at the moment in terms of marketing with some I guess crypto media companies, which are very well known. One of the guys that we're talking to owns a media company with nearly 1 million followers. On top of that, we've been in early discussions, and this one's probably the one that really excites us the most. And what this partnership, in terms of this high-level corporate partnership with the AFL, means is that we get exposure in different ways. And what that means is we actually get a little bit more, I guess, leverage, when we're seeking these partnerships and engaging with, I guess, institutional level business as well. So we had our first initial meeting with Animoca Brands. And for anyone who doesn't know Animoca Brands, you can look them up. They're a $5 billion venture capitalist blockchain company out of Hong Kong. But they've also established an arm here in Australia. So we've got our next meeting with a business manager. We had a meeting with the executive director a few weeks ago. We had included on that meeting our game developers, who have actually gone into a joint partnership, which Jack might sort of touch on a little bit later, as we move forward with our game development. So that's a really exciting partnership in its own right. So Animoca, they were early kind of partners with OpenSea, Sandbox, Decentraland, and the like. So they've got quite a reputation. So, for us to, and we'll see what happens, I guess, with that conversation. But, the fact that we're able to engage in that sort of level of conversation, is a result, I guess, of our hard work and our emphasis around securing long-term sustainable partnerships.
Sounds great, Lockie. Are you looking to buy some land then, maybe in Sandbox and Decentraland in the future?
Ask Jack. He's definitely interested. He wants to set up
I've been
headquarters.
pushing for it. I've been pushing for it, and I think eventually, Glenn, we will have a headquarters in either space. I'm thinking we maybe invest early while the market's sort of taking a little bit of a hit. Maybe we get in and buy some sand, buy some mana, enough to maybe purchase a block of land and maybe establish our headquarters. The goal, a short-term goal for me as well would be to, have a headquarters in the metaverse where we can host our AMAs and that sort of stuff. So definitely.
Great. And yeah, so what's the marketing plans after launch to sort of promote the kill count, which looks a really cool game for players and investors to get involved with the P2E aspect of it? How are you going to sort of promote that and the token and MTX in the future?
So I
Sorry,
think,
was that marketing there? I missed that.
yeah, marketing.
Yeah.
So we can probably go through the Twitter, all that stuff.
Yeah, sure. So obviously, right now, below the line sort of focus in terms of our marketing strategy is the key kind of core focus for us. So we've spent probably more than about 80 B&Bs so far on the AMA tour. We've done it before. We see the value in obviously connecting kind of, I guess, as direct as we can with potential investors through this platform. So that's a really kind of key focus for us. We've literally got AMAs booked all week and leading into early next week. So one other key aspect. So obviously we've got the Telegram groups, call groups, AMA tours. But one thing that we're looking at is rolling out a Twitter ad campaign. So probably not something you see from, I guess, traditional BSC projects, but we're looking at a double-digit investment, and we're looking at being, I guess, really targeted with the approach. So we're looking at 25 to 49 sort of age bracket, primary focus for now, and then we'll look to expand to sort of Asia, is US, UK, and Australia, which is, when you look at our investor base, that's where most of our investors are from. When you actually set up a Twitter ad campaign, you can highlight key interests. So basically, what we're targeting is anyone who's into gaming, online gaming, play to earn gaming, crypto news, gaming news, and the like. So it's going to be very much targeted to gaming. And I think the key reason for that is we obviously want to build awareness, obviously, to the Kill Count game, and then subsequently the Kill Count token. So with our budget, the reach is looking at about a 50 million reach, which is quite good. And the reason we're kind of really sort of focused on gamers is, apart from the fact we've obviously got a game, there's actually a direct correlation between gamers, and in particular, I'm referencing the US here, sort of being more interested in crypto. So what I mean by that is, gaming is obviously seen as a sport now, and it's the biggest sport, worth nearly $600 billion. And there's more interest in crypto for gamers than there is for any other sport in the US. So it kind of makes sense to really focus on gaming, and obviously the crypto kind of aspect as well. On top of that, we did have quite a number of meetings with a company that runs an influencer group who are Twitch streamers. We did speak about, obviously, the sort of gameplay and the sort of game style that this game is. It's probably not the game you're going to tune in and watch a streamer play for 2 or 3 hours, as it's not really, I guess, a sort of overall strategized sort of game. So we're looking at Twitch campaign sort of ads, sort of pre-roll ads. We've got a budget for that, and I guess this is where we're really fortunate that we've got someone like Naomi on our team who does this sort of content sort of strategy and digital strategy as a day job, and she has direct contact with the head of Twitch. So that really sort of puts us in good stead. So apart from kind of, the below the line sort of focus around, Telegram and groups and AMA groups and things like that, we're looking at a different kind of marketing strategy as well.
was going to add in as well there, Lockie, all things going well with our meeting with Animoca Brands as well. If we get that sort of stamp of approval on our project, on our business Matrix protocol, that really does affect eyes on our project at a kill count level, because kill count is the game that we will be sort of pitching as a portfolio and an example of what we have to offer the space. So I just wanted to reiterate that if a partnership like that, and we had that sort of stamp of approval on our project, organic sort of followers would definitely come along.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I mean, you've had this success with the MTX token. It's over 6 months old. It's a long time in the BSC, so that's great. Confidence builder for investors. You're coming out
Yeah,
with a Kount token as well.
I
Now,
guess.
I'm just wondering, with the
Yeah.
MTX token in the past, what lessons you've learned and what you would do differently, from what you've learned in the last 6 months through that project.
Well, I guess one thing I will say about that is one thing that we've done right, I guess, is to not sort of over promise and over deliver. I don't know if you remember, but we had a recording back when we launched back in October. We came here for an AMA and we mentioned a couple of things that we would like to do. Glenn, we'd like to partner with an AFL team. We have an initial chat with them. We'd like to deliver a game. We've done both those things. Here we are. We've got our second deliverable called Kill Count. So setting small, achievable goals was a real strong point for us 7 months ago, and will continue to be. In terms of what could we do differently, well, I guess what we're doing differently right now is in the style that we are launching Kill Count token. The unnecessary expenses can actually blow out in terms of pre-marketing, ineffective sort of marketing techniques that are probably costly and probably a little bit detrimental to the project even down the line, when you have low volume and you've spent money on this and that and it didn't really make a difference. So this time our approach for launch for Kill Count token has been extremely targeted. Every sort of BNB has been counted to the last one to ensure that we're only spending money on credible AMA groups like this one, and the right sort of partnerships and influencers to sort of get our awareness out there pre-launch. So I guess spending would have to be the number one difference this time round.
I think you're right, Jack, and I think that's where a lot of projects kind of fall over. There's a certain kind of level of somewhat appeasing the community with and that seems to come in the form of spending money on unnecessary kind of marketing. So we're absolutely not going to fall into that trap. We were quite good previously with not doing that. But I think Jack's right. I think we have learned a lot in terms of kind of, I guess, different forms of strategy around marketing. And that's kind of put us in a good position now to be, as Jack said, really targeted with our approach.
Hey, great, guys. Let's move on to investor questions. Let's see, Sayed, you had a question for Lockie or Jack here at Kill Count. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Glenn. Okay, so I was wondering that is there only one character available to the players in the kill count game, or there are various characters, or you will be adding them in future?
Yeah, that's a good question. So as you could imagine, with regard to pixel art games, any sort of graphical change that you make is a big deal. It's a big job, costs a lot. So initially, we will be launching with the budget that we had for the first game. We will be launching with only the one character. However, in upcoming versions of the game, we will be looking at secondary characters. Not only that, but we'll be exploring the possibility of maybe a cooperative sort of mode, maybe to introduce the multiplayer aspect to it. But that's sort of early stages for that.
Understood. And you mentioned that it will be infinite game. So I was wondering that are there any fightings as well, or
There are. There's a big.
just
No, you're right. There's a giant squid. How I don't know how often he appears though, Lockie. How often does he appear?
It's sort of it's randomized throughout the game. So I guess the
Random
more
bosses.
the more you progress through the game, obviously, the more kills you get. And if you obviously get the kills a lot quicker, the boss is going to come out. And that's kind of, I guess, like at the end of that level before it resets, and the AI of the enemies become a lot harder and a little bit more difficult to deal with as well. So yeah, at this stage, it is just a one-person game, but we're looking at kind of expanding on that.
Yeah.
understood. I have played it, and its gameplay is really smooth, and sound effects are really amazing. So
Thank
I
you.
was, yeah. So moving to my next question. So I was wondering that will there be any limit on number of the games a player can play to get on the leaderboard, or there will be no limits at all?
Yeah. So the initial cutoff, you're right, is 250 kills, and then you enter the leaderboard. If you don't reach 250 kills, you don't qualify for the leaderboard.
Okay, understood. Moving to your next game, the Big Bang Battle Royale game. So I was wondering that on which game engine it is being developed on.
So that'll be a web-based game that'll eventually be available on the Epic platform. We haven't really gone into the detail of which game engine at this stage it'll be written with. We're not quite that far with the development at the moment. We're very much in a conceptualization sort of game concept phase, so unable to sort of answer you there on that.
At the moment,
Understood.
they've provided us with the I guess the game mechanic, the game in detail, kind of the characters. So they've actually hand drawn all the characters. So there'll be four different teams with 12 different players that you can choose from, and then they've just gone through all the real kind of technical and visual kind of aspect of the game as well. So we're not quite there yet.
Okay, completely understandable. So I was wondering that have you decided that will there be only one huge map like in Fortnite, or there will be different maps in the Battle Royale?
In the new
So
game, you
battle,
mean?
yeah, Battle
The new
Royale.
one.
Yeah, no. So there'll be multiple kind of arenas. I think there's 4 different arenas that you can pick to play from. And again, as we kind of build out that further, we can look to expand and include new levels, which is kind of part of the plan that we have for kill count as well.
Understood. And have you decided yet that which servers you will be going to use for the Battle Royale, and how much traffic will the servers be able to handle?
They have their own servers, so it'll most likely be the same server that Kount's on, which is a server, an local Australian-based server that the actual game developers own themselves. So they will be in full control of the performance of Kount and Big Bang Battle Royale as well. So there'll be no issues there.
Wonderful, wonderful. Final question. So I was wondering that are there any other games in the pipeline? Are you planning on launching any more games after this Battle Royale game?
Yep. Yeah, look, after Battle Royale, there is that 50-50 collaborative opportunity that we alluded to earlier with Art of Play Games. We can't go into too much detail about that. It's going to be a AAA game, so it's going to be a top-level AAA game. It's going to take around 12 to 18 months to develop, and it'll be done very much in a 50-50 business fashion rather than a transactional fashion. All I can say about that is that it will have NFT integration will be an absolute key to that game, and hopefully we will have some private backing from perhaps companies from the likes of Animoca for that style game. But that's very much down the pipeline at the moment.
Got it, got it. Thank you so much. And it's really nice to see the real games in the crypto space. And thank you so much for your efforts. Over to you, Glenn.
Thanks,
Thank you
mate.
for the questions, Syed. Let's move to Venice. You had a question for Jack or Lockie at the Kill Count project. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much, Glenn. Actually, I was wondering, will there be any character renting feature available in the Battle Royale game so players can rent out their characters to other players to earn more money?
Yeah, so you're cutting out a little bit there, but I did hear your question regarding the renting of
Did you
players.
get my question?
Yeah. No, I got it, mate. So, I guess to answer that question, there will be, as mentioned, Web3 integration for Big Bang Battle Royale at launch. So, the characters that will be available in the game will be tradable as NFTs. Don't know. I guess with regard to renting, I'm not probably across the process behind that, but I assume it couldn't be much more complicated than the buying and selling of NFT characters and that sort of thing. But we will be looking at adding that sort of functionality to the game, definitely.
Okay, great. And I also read holding an NFT will allow access to limited areas of the ecosystem. So, could you please tell us what are those areas? What are those limited areas?
Yeah. So as mentioned, we are looking at I guess two NFT collections coming up: Rogue Rat and the Lone Wolf. There will be staking and for those NFT holders, so they'll be able to earn just by holding those NFTs. We also were thinking that for upcoming projects, NFT holders would have some level of extra sort of benefit there. We haven't entirely figured out the terms and conditions behind that yet, but there will be a further application for NFT holders as well. So, yeah, watch the space.
Question, Venice.
Yeah, nah, actually, my TG is not acting good. So, okay, I have another question for you. In your battle royale game, will players encounter random enemies, and will also players be rewarded based on their skills during the gameplay, or how it will work?
Yeah, look, we're in a bit of conceptualization phase at the moment, so we haven't really entirely worked out the nuts and bolts of it yet. But what I will say is that it will be a multiplayer aspect, so people will be playing each other. It'll be PvP, so hopefully that answers your questions about enemies.
Yeah, that's clear. And one thing I want to mention here, when I click to play now on your website, it started asking for downloading some audio files and even flooded my download manager repeatedly. So I had to close the page to stop flooding my screen with a lot of requests for downloading the files. So are these files necessary or it's a bug in your system?
I don't know what that is. Sorry, I've never seen that. Where did you say you press? Where did you go?
Yeah, when I clicked on your on click to play now button on your website, I was trying to click the play the game, so it flooded me with a lot of
Right.
asking
Okay.
permission for downloading them. I can share
Never.
you the screenshot for it in LinkedIn.
Yeah. Yeah. Send us the screenshot. But I just tried just then, and I didn't get asked to
Yeah, I
download
didn't have an
anything.
issue. I think that might be an isolated issue there, but feel free to send us a DM. We can have a look. We haven't heard of that issue at all.
Okay, great. Thanks for the questions, Venice. Yeah, maybe it's sort of you're using Google or Firefox. Maybe something was different if someone's using a
Plugins.
certain. Let's move on to Western Beach. You had a question for Kill Count. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Glenn. Hi guys. Hey Lucky. Hey Jack.
Hey,
Hey, mate.
This is my first question. I want to talk about I'm still going to talk about your leaderboard. Um, I'm saying you said it's going to be 250. First going to reach 250 kills. So exactly how many is it that is there a locked amount of people to reach this 250 kills that will be rewarded, or is there an infinite amount of people that reach 250 kills that will be rewarded?
it's an, it's an infinite amount of enemies that just keep coming and coming. The AI is programmed to get harder and harder as you go along. So it's an infinite wave. It's impossible to finish the game.
Okay, so what features of the game will make it a game that's an infinite game usually over time for people to play? Are there some special power-ups or some special effects on the active playing character of the game that will make the game more interesting?
Um, I suppose the decapitation and the heads blowing up might have something to do with replayability. We did install quite an excess amount of gore in the game, so that adds to the interest of the game. But apart from that, it's a retro pixel game, man. So visual effects will only get you so far.
All right. On your website,
Sorry.
Western Beast. Are you
okay,
there?
sorry, I got cut out. I got cut out.
Yeah.
So on your website, I saw KKT will be the in-game currency for Kount. And on your white paper, give me a second to access it. Sorry. Okay. Will this token be used to mint those NFTs that will be coming in the future?
You'll be able to earn KKT off of the upcoming NFTs. You're right.
So can I use it to mint the NFTs, or will I be able to earn these NFTs?
You'll be earning with the NFTs. We're looking at introducing staking, as we mentioned earlier.
All right. That'll be all. Thanks a lot, Glenn. Over to you.
For the questions, Western Beast, let's see, Almania, you had a question for the kill count team. Go ahead. Almania? No, let's move on to Zeno. Zeno, you had a question for the kill count team. Go ahead. Hey there,
Hello,
Zeno.
good evening. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, mate.
Hello. Hello, can you hear me?
Sure can.
Oh yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for this great opportunity. Really, this was a great opportunity given to me. I really appreciate it. I commend you for your presentation. Really have a nice presentation and good project too. And my question, do you have plans for staking? Because staking is one of the strategies to attract users and hold
Yeah,
them
we've
long
been
term.
through that.
So
We've been through that, man. Sorry to cut you off. Look, we're partnered with Brew Labs. We will be employing the same staking pools that we do with Matrix Protocol. We're going to have 30, 90, 180-day staking pools and a farming pool. We'll also be looking at having an NFT staking pool down the line.
okay, I have another question. What are the benefits of holding your token as long-term investment? And can you tell us about the motivations and benefits for investors to keep your token in long term?
Okay, so it's going to be the in-game currency for all three kill count games, and there will be staking available if you believe in the project.
All right, thanks very much for this wonderful answer. I really appreciate it. Thanks and good luck to your project.
Thank you for the question. Let's see, Lord Anthony, you had a question for the kill count team. Go ahead. Lord Anthony? No, let's move on to Lewis Griffin. You had a question for the Kill Count team. Go ahead. No. Okay. Everyone's not replying there. Yeah, so we've had people, maybe join the call in the middle and then they're asking questions from what we've sort of covered in the first half. So if Jack and Lockie, we could do a recap over the project and the launch cookie sale, which our investors are well versed with because they're our partners, and just give them an update on everything that's planned in the project.
Awesome. So I guess, Kill Count token, it's the game that we promised from day one, and we're happy to announce that we've now delivered it. Killcounttoken.com, guys, give it a go and let us know what you think. There will be a token, Kill Count token, launching alongside this game. That launch date is set for the 24th of May. We're having a fair launch on the 21st of May, which will run for 48 hours to allow everyone to sort of get in at the same price for that token. The token's used as an in-game currency for the Kill Count series of games, and staking will be available at launch or shortly after, depending on timelines. They are CertiK audited staking pools. So I guess, guys, look, as you mentioned, Cookie Sale are your partners. We will be sort of heading shortly, immediately after this, into a AMA with those guys as well. So if you missed out and want to catch up, you can find us there. Otherwise, we've got a lot more AMAs in the tour and a lot more marketing pre-launch coming up. So we'd love you guys to really join our community, play our game, let us know what you think, and have a bit of fun with us.
It's been great speaking to Jack and Lockie again. Like I say, they've been here before and they've got successful projects, so it's great for our investors to hear about the Kill Count token that's launching on the 21st of May. And that's a fair launch. What was the soft cap, hard cap again?
Well, the soft cap for the fair launch is around 200 BNB, but we are aiming for a lot more than that. If we can raise upward of 1,000 and be an inaugural 1,000 BNB fair launch for Cookie Sale, that'd be a really great achievement. But given current market conditions, we'll see how we go.
I'm forgetting, but a fair launch, there's no hard cap. But that's great, guys. The game looks great. You guys have got a track record, very honest, open, and transparent. So that's great for our investors. It should be a really great success, I'm sure. Is there a link if they join the socials on your website for the Cookie Sale launchpad?
So we don't actually. No, you're right. We probably should add one. We don't actually have a link at the moment on our website for our Cookie Sale launchpad, but we'll actually go away and do that now, I reckon. But it is widely available in our community. All you have to do is come into our Telegram, use /presale /fair launch, and the details and the link will come up. So come on in.
If you DM it over to me as well, I'll put that into the main chat when we reopen it shortly. I'll send over a copy of the recordings as well. We'll have a Twitch recording and a Telegram recording for you guys to share with your investors. We do say in every AMA now as well, it's for educational purposes. It's not financial advice. Do your own research. Check out the website, the white paper, join the community. If you like what you see and you're excited, get involved with the community. And I'm looking forward to the fair launch on May the 21st on Cookie Sale Launchpad, which is one of our partners. So all our investors know about that. That's great speaking to you today, guys, Jackie and Lockie.
Thanks for having us once again, Glenn.
Thanks, Glenn. Always a pleasure, mate. Appreciate it.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to the launch, and take care, guys.